As the evening settles, our protagonist finds herself in a cozy, softly lit restaurant. Surrounded by the gentle hum of conversation and the clinking of silverware against fine china, she sits, elegantly attired, across from her partner. Their conversation flows like the delicate notes of the soft background music, a rhythm as familiar as the heart's beat. This is not her first time in such a setting, yet every evening spent in his company feels like an adventure. A journey through the labyrinth of life, love, and all that lies in between. He speaks, she listens, the words a symphony of thoughts and feelings, a dance of syllables in the quietude of the evening. Her eyes, those windows to her soul, reflect the soft, warm light of the restaurant, glowing with the contentment of the moment. Her smile, a curve that sets everything straight, illuminates her face with a radiance that rivals the soft candlelight on the table. Her anticipation is palpable, a quiet excitement that fills the air around them. But then, there is a subtle shift, a change in the melody of his voice, a slight falter in his confident demeanor, a silence that hangs heavy in the air. He looks at her, his eyes reflecting an emotion she is yet to decipher. The words that follow, they hang in the air, a cloud of uncertainty casting shadows on their cozy evening. Her initial reaction is one of surprise, a silent gasp trapped in her throat. Her heart skips a beat, her mind racing to keep up with the sudden turn of events. But she is a woman of strength, a woman of grace. She masks her shock with a calm demeanor, her composure a testament to her resilience. The tone of the conversation begins to shift, a cloud of seriousness descending upon the table. As the reality of the situation begins to seep in, she takes a deep breath, ready to face the storm that looms ahead. And so our protagonist finds herself at the precipice of a life-altering moment, poised to navigate the turbulent waters of change. The words hang in the air, an unwelcome surprise disrupting the evening's harmony. Our protagonist is suddenly thrust into a reality she didn't anticipate, a stark disparity to the warm, candlelit ambiance of the restaurant that surrounds her. The conversation, once filled with comfortable silences and shared laughter, has taken an unexpected turn. Her partner's words echo in her ears, a regretful admission that shatters the tranquility of their dinner date. "We need to talk," he begins, a phrase that, more often than not, is a harbinger of unpleasant news. As he continues, her smile fades, replaced by a look of surprise that quickly morphs into a mask of composure. The shock of the situation is palpable, yet she battles to keep her emotions in check. Her eyes, however, betray her, welling up with silent tears that threaten to spill over. The clinking of cutlery, the low hum of conversations, and the soft music playing in the background all seem to amplify in this moment, almost mocking the silence that has descended between them. The once comforting ambience of the restaurant now feels like a stark contrast to the turmoil unfolding at their table. Her partner's words, though spoken with regret, don't soften the blow. The realization that their journey together has come to an abrupt end is a bitter pill to swallow. Yet she listens, her silence a testament to her strength and dignity. As he finishes speaking, the weight of his words hangs heavily in the air. The finality of the situation is undeniable, yet she remains seated, her face a portrait of resilience. He stands to leave, the finality of his decision evident in his actions. Yet she doesn't crumble. Her eyes, though filled with a whirlwind of emotions, reflect a certain resolve. The end of this chapter in her life is indeed a surprise, and an unpleasant one at that. But as she sits there, amidst the remnants of their shared meal, she understands that it's also an opportunity for a new beginning. As he stands to leave, she remains seated, a whirlwind of emotions reflected in her eyes. Left alone at the table, a moment of vulnerability gives way to strength. In the quiet hush of the restaurant, a symphony of emotions plays out. The vacant chair across the table echoes the sudden emptiness in her heart. But in this silence, a spark ignites. The flame of resilience, a beacon in the shadow of heartbreak. There's a moment, a pause in the universe, where the echoes of a conversation that once was linger before giving way to a profound silence. It's in this silence that strength is found. It's in these moments, when we are stripped of our defenses, that we discover our true mettle. She's a woman of elegance, grace, and strength, a diamond formed under pressure. She isn't defined by the relationship that was, but by the woman she becomes in its aftermath. Heartache is merely a chapter, not the whole story. In the quiet aftermath of a storm, there's a calm that brings clarity, that brings resolve. As she collects herself, there's a subtle shift. A transition from surprise to acceptance, from acceptance to resolve. Her face, a canvas, reflects a myriad of emotions, each one a testament to her strength, her grace. Her strength isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet, dignified. It's in the way she straightens her back, the way she squares her shoulders. It's in the way she lifts her chin, her eyes gleaming with an unspoken resolve. With a newfound strength, she stands ready to face her future. It is in moments like these, moments of unexpected change, that we discover a resilience within us we never knew existed. She stands, her stature a testament to her strength, her resolve, her determination to not be defined by this moment, but to use it as a stepping stone to something greater. She reaches for her purse, her movements steady, her expression calm. Life has thrown a curveball her way, but she is not one to back down. Her heart may be aching, but it is in this pain that she finds a new sense of purpose, a new direction. She pays for the meal, a simple action that speaks volumes about her character. She is gracious, she is dignified, she does not need to rely on anyone else to pick up the pieces of her life. She stands ready to leave the restaurant, ready to leave this chapter behind. Her eyes hold a spark, a glimmer of anticipation. She knows that change can be daunting, but she also knows it can be the beginning of something beautiful. She does not fear the unknown. Instead, she embraces it. She welcomes it with open arms. She is not merely surviving, she is thriving. She is not just existing, she is living. She understands that endings can be painful, but they can also be the start of something new, something wonderful. She is not a victim of her circumstances, but a woman who holds the power to shape her own destiny. She steps forward, her steps echoing with the promise of a new tomorrow. She does not glance back, for her focus is not on the past, but on the future that awaits her. A future that she is ready to face, a future that she is ready to conquer. As she steps out of the restaurant, her head held high, the night air greets the beginning of her new journey.